I can't deny that Zombo Buster Advance looks like the reincarnation of Plants vs. Zombie at first glance. Now it has the typical archetypes on both the living as a dead side, a guy with a flamethrower versus a big fat zombie who acts as a shield for his friends, for example. But it also hides a clever elevator mechanic, an upgrade system for your soldiers, and a skill tree. So welcome to Indie Game Guides, and today we're presenting our 8 beginner tips for Zombo Buster Advance. Our first tip is to use the elevator mechanic. Now, don't think this game is a regular tower defense game. You can bring the units you need up or down multiple levels, and it takes a lot away of the boring waiting part of standard tower defense game, but you really need to use it to overcome the challenges laid before you. Some of the undead have 2 types of health bar, like the armored zombie for example. Now it may seem logical that you need to first tear through the armor of the zombie before you can touch his health bar. But did you know that not all of your soldiers do the same type of damage to armor and health, for example? Now the agent is a great example of this. He will easily tear through the armor but barely do a scratch against the health bar. The flame beat will destroy the unarmored zombie with his damage over time effect, but it can't seem to do any damage versus anyone with armor. Don't try to get a perfect score in every level straight away. Just try to get through it so you can unlock more squad members and gadgets in the next level. Afterwards you can come back and use your full arsenal to get that perfect score, because they are worth it since the rewards you get are a lot better when you get a general rank. You can decide which gadgets and items to use before you start the level, right before you press the start button. Here you can also buy new items like energy packs, medic packs and Wheel of Blades at some steep prices. Now before we move on, I quickly want to mention that you can always hit me up on Twitter or join our Discord if you have additional questions, and if you want to have a vote on which indie game gets featured next, be sure to subscribe because we often organize open questions and do polls to decide which game gets a series of guides next. Now with that out of the way, let's continue with our next beginner tip for Zombo Buster Advance. Getting the resource tree exactly right is almost impossible. You basically need to experiment with the different kinds of resources. I found improving your damage output, energy generation and reducing the cooldown of your gadgets and the elevator swapping mechanic essential. Personally, I advise to even it out. Just bring all the ones that seem useful to you up to about 2 upgrades and then bring them all to 4, 6 and so on. To reduce cooldown on landmines and getting your energy back from removing soldiers I found unneeded personally, but just keep on experimenting because you can easily reset the entire resource tree for free. When everything gets a little bit chaotic and you don't really know on which floor to focus first or what unit to pick, just press escape. Now the game will pause and still let you see the game behind it. Just try to see what's going wrong and decide on a solution and just unpause. At the start you can place the gunner anywhere and kill everything easily, but that'll change quickly. Now I found combinations to be the key. For example, an agent that can shred armor easily combined with a flame beat's damage over time effect is lethal. Besides that, I tended to use the Arctic soldiers a lot to slow down the enemies, and in certain areas the bouncers and cannoneers who specialize in area damage become essential due to the sheer number of zombies. Just try to experiment with all the units and try to make some lethal combinations and see what works. To upgrade your badges, you need to combine 3 of the same level. Now if you use multiple of the same types, you get an upgraded version. If you use 3 different ones, you get a random higher level badge of one of the 3 you sacrificed. Now the quick add option is very useful to do this quickly, but it will only use unequipped badges. So if you want to fuse all badges into better ones, you need to unequip them first from all your units, or if you want to keep one for some reason, just be sure to equip it to a unit. Now those were all my beginner tips for Zombo Buster Advance. Now I found it a hard game at the start, but once you figure it out, it becomes rather enjoying to play due to the elevator mechanic. Now I hope you found these tips useful, and if you did, please give the video a thumbs up so other people can find it too. And if you want to see more guides like this one for your favorite indie games, consider subscribing, because we're putting out 3 guides every week. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya!